Okay, this is a public service announcement, and the problem and the answer is open loops. And I will explain exactly what I mean. The thing that has been stopping you from doing your best in whatever you're pursuing is open loops, or rather, are open loops. Open loops are what create this illusion that you're burned out, that you need to take a break, that you're losing motivation, that you're undisciplined, that you don't have energy, that you don't have focus. All of those problems, they all boil down, in most cases, to open loops. And what I mean is that there are a million different things that are those open loops where it's not yet finished. Whatever the thing is, it's not yet kind of like completed in your mind. And that doesn't just have to be tasks. And most people are aware that writing down your to-dos is useful. And of course, most people have figured it out, but it doesn't stop there. Even when you write down something that you want to do, and especially when you start working on it, if it's a project, for example, that is related to your work, related to something that you're building, that you're working on, there are open loops related to how you're doing that thing. So if you have a project and you need to do a specific thing and you start working on it, it creates new open loops. How will I solve this problem? How will I do this? There will be decisions, open decisions. There will be things you have to look up, things you have to check, things you're not sure about. Basically, everything you do creates more open loops. And then if we add basically all the content you're consuming, all the information that you're consuming, if you combine everything that is happening, every data point that's going into your head, there are just so many open loops, so many things that are not finished. And so your brain is basically been pulled in a million directions and you are unable to focus and you're unable to relax and recover. This is the main point. The main point of this video is not to tell you some technique to work more or work harder. The point of this video is to make you aware that as long as you don't deal with open loops, you will not be able to recover your mind. And if you don't recover your mind, then you will always burn out very, very quickly. Every weekend you will be completely exhausted, and often you will not even be fully recharged by the time Monday rolls back around. And so the problem very specifically is that everything that is happening, everything that you're working on, that you're thinking about, that you need to do, that you want to do, every commitment, every little thing often creates an open loop in your head. And this open loop can grow, like I said before, when you start to get into solving something, into dealing with something, it will create new questions, new decisions, new problems, new things to think about. And the solution is super simple, but it takes this awareness to start actually doing it, which is to write stuff down. And I'm not just saying to take notes or to write on your to-dos, but starting to, first of all, gain this understanding that there are actually very many things that you're thinking about. And you can find out if you just sit down somewhere and you don't bring your phone. You just take a piece of paper, or probably you need a few pieces of paper, and then you just wait. And if you just spend an hour there, doesn't even take an hour, probably after 10 minutes already you will be writing stuff down. And the point is to write down everything, even when things don't seem that important. Some thought, you have some idea, some everything. Because when we think, okay, this is nothing worth writing down, you don't lose anything. There is no point in not writing something down that's in your head. And even if it's something positive, even if it's something you're excited about, looking forward to, it makes sense to just do this sweep basically and just write down everything. And you will probably notice that there are so many things you will write down. And if you just sit there for half an hour or an hour, you probably will fill a few pages. And very quickly, you will also get to the point where you start writing down actionable stuff. You will start writing down things you want to do, should do, need to do, things you've been maybe thinking about for a while. When I do it, I often start thinking a lot about kind of approaches to problems or techniques or methods or stuff that I'm thinking about, things that I want to develop. For me, a lot of my attention is focused on finding better ways to work, to live, to make decisions, to set up my life in a way that helps me accomplish my goals. And so I wanted to make this very quick video because I just keep learning the same lesson, and I've learned it many times over the last few years, and now I'm at a point where it's so evident. And now, because the complexity of my work has increased quite a lot, the amount of stuff that I can write down if I really make this an effort, ideally every day, to just sweep and just write down everything. It will also help you in your work, because if you take all of the stuff that you're thinking about and you basically make it visible, you bring it out. You can also just type. If you just want to create a document, a note, whatever, and you just type it out, you can dictate it. There are a million ways you can do it. But when you start writing everything down, you can then go through and you can say, okay, these are useful insights. These are things that I need to consider when I work on this project. And so you start basically externalizing all of that information, and then it frees up the mental capacity, the mental space in your head to think about problems and think about how you can do certain things and how you can do the things that you need to do, as opposed to remembering a million things and just having your head crammed full of shit, basically. So I will leave it at that. I will not keep rambling, but try this. Just write down all the open loops, and if you give it a few minutes of just not stimulating yourself, not having your phone there, just pen and paper, and just sit there, you will notice that there's so much more stuff on your mind, and it doesn't have to be bad. This is not the point. The point is not to say that it's all stuff you're worrying about, even though that will be part of it, maybe, or stuff you have to do, but just in general, just stuff on your mind. So try this. I think it will be useful.